First contact, unexpected allies. The quantum resonance scanner hummed softly, its delicate sensors probing the intricate fabric of spacetime surrounding the research vessel horizon. Dr. Elena Rodriguez leaned forward, her dark eyes reflecting the holographic display that flickered with an impossible pattern of energy signatures. Something was different about this sector of deep space, something that defied everything she knew about quantum mechanics and interstellar exploration. Elena had spent her entire career challenging scientific boundaries. As the lead xenobiological engineer for the Interstellar Research Consortium, she had made a name for herself by questioning established theories and pushing the limits of human understanding. Her colleagues often joked that she was part scientist, part explorer, and part dreamer, a combination that had led to some of the most significant breakthroughs in human space exploration. The Horizon was not a typical research vessel. Equipped with the most advanced adaptive technologies humanity could produce, it was a testament to human innovation. Its hull was composed of metamaterials that could reconfigure themselves in response to environmental challenges, and its internal systems were designed to support human life in the most extreme conditions imaginable. Dr. Rodriguez, called out Lieutenant Marcus Chen from the navigation station, were detecting an anomalous energy signature approximately 0.3 light-years from our current position. It doesn't match any known stellar or technological emissions. Elena's curiosity piqued. In her years of research, she had learned that the universe was far more complex than any single species could comprehend. Bring up the full spectral analysis, she commanded, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. The display erupted with a symphony of colors and mathematical representations. The energy signature was unlike anything they had ever encountered. It seemed to pulse with a rhythmic complexity that suggested intelligence, yet it defied all known communication protocols. "It's responding," Marcus whispered, his voice a mixture of awe and trepidation. "The energy pattern is adapting to our scanning frequency." Elena leaned closer. This was more than a random cosmic event. This was communication, or something remarkably close to it. Her mind raced with possibilities. Humans had long wondered about first contact, but the reality was proving to be far more nuanced than any science fiction narrative. Suddenly, the ship's hull began to resonate. Not with the harsh vibration of external damage, but with a subtle, almost musical frequency. The metamaterial composing the hull shifted and realigned, responding to the external energy in ways that surprised even Elena. "Adaptive response protocols engaged," the ship's AI announced in a calm voice. "External energy signature demonstrating non-destructive interaction." A holographic representation materialized in the center of the bridge, a complex, geometric form that seemed to be simultaneously solid and transparent. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly alien. "We are receiving," came a sound that was more felt than heard, translating through the ship's advanced communication systems. "Adaptation recognized. Resonance established." Elena's scientific training battled with a profound sense of wonder. This was first contact, but not in any way humanity had ever imagined. The alien presence wasn't attempting to communicate through language or traditional means. Instead, it was communicating through fundamental physical interactions, using the very fabric of reality as its medium of exchange. "Maintain passive response protocols," Elena instructed her team. "Do not initiate aggressive communication or defensive measures." The geometric form began to shift, its edges becoming more fluid, more responsive. It was learning, adapting to the human vessel's own adaptive technologies. What had begun as a potential threat was transforming into something else entirely, a dialogue written in the language of quantum mechanics and material science. Lieutenant Chen looked at Elena, his face a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "What do we do?" Elena's lips curled into a slight smile. "We listen. We adapt. We learn." Little did they know that this moment would mark the beginning of humanity's most profound interstellar relationship, a connection that would challenge everything known about communication, survival, and the very nature of intelligence itself. The horizon hung in space, its hull gently pulsing, a bridge between two potentially incomprehensible forms of existence. And at its heart, Dr. Elena Rodriguez waited, her mind a crucible of scientific curiosity in human potential. The adaptive challenge. 48 hours had passed since the initial quantum contact, and the horizon had become a crucible of scientific speculation. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic display that pulsed with intricate energy patterns, each movement a complex dialogue between human technology and the unknown alien intelligence. "It's not just communication," Elena explained to the gathered research team, her hands tracing luminescent lines of data. "It's a form of adaptive resonance. The entity, or entities, are learning from us as much as we're learning from them." Dr. Ayesha Kapoor, the ship's lead quantum physicist, nodded thoughtfully. "Our metamaterial hull is acting like a translation matrix. Every interaction is building a more complex understanding. It's as if we're engaged in a continuous, multi-layered conversation without words." The ship's interior had transformed subtly over the past 2 days. Surfaces seemed to shimmer with an almost living quality, reflecting the ongoing quantum interaction. Technological systems that were once rigidly programmed now displayed an uncanny ability to reconfigure and respond to microscopic changes in the environment. Lieutenant Marcus Chen interrupted the scientific deliberation. "We're detecting increased energy buildup in Sector 7. The adaptive response is escalating." Elena moved to the navigation console, her movements deliberate and calm. Humans had evolved on a planet of constant change, volcanic eruptions, climate shifts, technological revolutions. Uncertainty was not a source of fear but a challenge to be understood. "Maintain passive resonance," she instructed. "We're not here to confront, but to communicate." The geometric form that had first appeared began to evolve. What initially seemed like a static holographic projection now demonstrated fluid dynamics that defied conventional understanding. It moved not with mechanical precision, but with a form of intelligence that suggested consciousness beyond human comprehension. Suddenly, the ship's communication systems erupted with a burst of energy that was simultaneously sound, light, and mathematical equation. Most species would have interpreted this as an attack. The Horizon's crew saw it for what it was, an attempt at deeper understanding. Dr. Kapoor's instruments went wild. "The energy signature is mimicking our own neural network patterns," she called out. "It's not just receiving, it's attempting to understand how we think." Elena realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. This wasn't first contact in the traditional sense of message and response. This was a fundamental exchange of existential information, a meeting of intelligences that transcended language, biology, or technological barriers. "Our adaptability is our strength," Elena murmured, more to herself than to the crew. Humans had survived ice ages, pandemics, technological revolutions. They had transformed barren landscapes into thriving civilizations, adapted to environments from scorching deserts to frozen tundras. This moment was no different, just a more profound manifestation of human potential. The ship's AI, typically a precise and emotionless system, began to exhibit behaviors that suggested something close to excitement. "Quantum resonance reaching critical complexity," it announced. "Potential for breakthrough communication imminent." Outside the ship's protective hull, space itself seemed to ripple. The alien intelligence was not just communicating, it was restructuring the very fabric of reality to bridge the gap between two fundamentally different forms of existence. Lieutenant Chen looked at Elena, a mix of scientific wonder and existential awe in his eyes. "What are we dealing with?" Elena's smile was both a scientific observation and a profound statement of human potential. "We're dealing with the universe's most fundamental language, adaptation. And we're about to have a conversation that no species has ever had before." The Horizon continued its quantum dance, a vessel of human innovation floating in the vast, mysterious expanse of space. At its heart, a team of scientists stood ready to expand the boundaries of known reality, driven by an innate human capacity to face the unknown not with fear, but with boundless curiosity and an unshakable belief in the power of understanding. Little did they know that this moment would mark the beginning of a transformation that would ripple across the entire galaxy, a testament to humanity's greatest survival mechanism, the ability to adapt, to understand, and to connect. Technological breakthrough. 7 days into the quantum encounter, the Horizon had become more than a research vessel, it was now a living experiment in interspecies collaboration. The ship's laboratory had transformed into a nexus of unprecedented scientific innovation, where human ingenuity met an intelligence that defied conventional understanding. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic projection that pulsed with intricate energy patterns, her team watching in a mixture of excitement and disbelief. The alien intelligence, which they had begun to conceptualize as a quantum collective consciousness, was no longer just communicating. It was collaborating. "Look at this," Dr. Aisha Kapoor announced, her voice trembling with scientific excitement. "The quantum resonance is creating adaptive algorithms that are solving problems we've been struggling with for decades." On multiple displays, complex mathematical models began to resolve themselves. Problems of quantum entanglement, energy transmission, and biomechanical integration that had seemed insurmountable were now unraveling with impossible speed and elegance. Lieutenant Marcus Chen manipulated a holographic interface, his fingers tracing impossible geometric patterns. "The adaptive matrix is rewriting our existing technological paradigms," he said. "It's not just solving problems, it's reimagining how we approach problem solving itself." Elena understood what was happening. Humans had always been masters of adaptation, but this was something different. The alien intelligence was teaching them to see beyond their own technological limitations, showing them patterns of thinking that transcended linear human logic. A breakthrough materialized on the primary display, a new form of energy transmission that could potentially solve global energy crises. It wasn't just an incremental improvement, it was a fundamental reimagining of how energy could be collected, stored, and distributed. "Quantum resonance stabilizing," the ship's AI announced. "Collaborative integration at 78.6% efficiency." Dr. Kapoor turned to Elena, her eyes wide with revelation. "We're not just receiving information. We're engaged in a mutual process of technological evolution. The alien intelligence is learning from us as much as we're learning from them." The laboratory hummed with a living energy. Technological systems that were once rigid and predictable now displayed a fluid intelligence, constantly reconfiguring themselves in response to the quantum dialogue. Prototype devices began to self-modify, creating solutions to problems the human researchers hadn't even recognized existed. "It's like they're showing us how to think differently," Elena murmured. "Not replacing our intelligence, but expanding it." A series of holographic displays began to show potential applications. Medical regeneration technologies that could heal previously untreatable conditions. Environmental restoration systems that could reverse centuries of ecological damage. Transportation technologies that could redefine human mobility. Lieutenant Chen interrupted the moment of wonder. "We're receiving a quantum communication pattern. It's different." The ship's interior began to shimmer, not with a threatening energy, but with a sense of collaborative potential. The alien intelligence was proposing something more profound than a simple technological exchange. "They want to help us understand," Elena realized. "Not just our technology, but ourselves." The quantum collective was offering humanity a glimpse into a way of thinking that transcended individual perspective. It was a collaboration that challenged everything humans knew about intelligence, communication, and the very nature of technological progress. As the day progressed, the horizon became a crucible of transformation. Each moment brought new revelations, each interaction expanded the boundaries of human understanding. The alien intelligence was teaching them that true innovation wasn't about conquering or controlling, but about understanding and adapting. Elena looked at her team, scientists, engineers, and explorers who represented the best of human potential. They were standing at the threshold of a new era of discovery, where the lines between human and alien intelligence blurred into something extraordinary. "We're not just making first contact," she said softly. "We're rewriting the rules of existence." The quantum collective pulsed in agreement, a silent promise of collaborative potential that would forever change humanity's place in the universe. The Great Transformation. 6 months had passed since the Horizon's first quantum encounter, and the implications of their discovery had begun to ripple across human civilization. What had started as a scientific expedition had become nothing short of a fundamental transformation of human understanding. Orbital research stations across the solar system now bore the marks of the quantum collective's collaborative influence. Technologies that had once seemed like distant dreams were now becoming reality. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in the central command hub of the Interstellar Research Consortium, watching as holographic displays showed the global impact of their discovery. "The ecological restoration projects are exceeding all projections," reported Dr. Ayesha Kapoor, her voice filled with a mixture of scientific precision and genuine wonder. "The quantum adaptive technologies are reversing environmental damage at an exponential rate. We're looking at complete ecosystem recovery in regions we thought were permanently damaged." Lieutenant Marcus Chen brought up another display. "Energy production has increased by 340%, with zero carbon emissions. The quantum resonance matrix is literally transforming how we generate and distribute energy." But the changes weren't just technological. They were fundamentally social, philosophical, and existential. The quantum collective had introduced humanity to a way of thinking that transcended individual perspective. It wasn't about conquest or competition, but about collaborative survival and mutual understanding. Nations that had been locked in centuries of conflict were now working together, guided by insights from the alien intelligence. Elena understood the profound nature of this transformation. Humans had always been adaptable, but now they were learning to adapt not just to physical environments, but to entirely new ways of perceiving existence. A communication arrived from the United Nations Interstellar Council. Dr. Rodriguez was requested to present their findings to a global assembly, a testament to how dramatically their discovery had reshaped human society. "We're not just changing our technology," Elena explained to her team as they prepared for the presentation. "We're changing how we understand ourselves and our place in the universe." The presentation was broadcast globally. Holographic displays showed the intricate quantum networks that now connected research facilities across the planet. Advanced medical technologies developed through the collaboration were already saving millions of lives. Environmental restoration projects were healing ecosystems that had been considered beyond repair. But the most profound changes were happening in ways that couldn't be easily measured. Philosophers and scientists were grappling with new understandings of consciousness, communication, and collective intelligence. The quantum collective had shown humanity that intelligence was not about individual power, but about collaborative potential. "It's a complete paradigm shift," Dr. Kapoor remarked during a private moment with Elena. "We're learning that survival isn't about domination. It's about understanding, adaptation, and mutual growth." As the global presentation concluded, Elena received a quantum communication from the collective, a complex pattern of energy and information that spoke more clearly than any words ever could. It was an invitation, a promise, a glimpse of potential futures where humanity was no longer alone in the universe. Lieutenant Chen approached Elena, his usual professional demeanor softened by a sense of profound wonder. "What happens next?" he asked. Elena's smile was both a scientific observation and a statement of human potential. "We continue to learn," she said. "We continue to adapt. We continue to grow." The quantum collective pulsed in agreement, a silent testament to a new era of human potential. What had begun as a chance encounter in the depths of space was now rewriting the very understanding of what it meant to be intelligent, to be alive, to be part of something greater than oneself. Humanity stood at the threshold of a new era of exploration, not just of space, but of consciousness itself. Resonance of understanding. 1 year after the initial encounter, humanity stood transformed. The research vessel Horizon had become more than a scientific milestone, it was now a symbol of a new era of cosmic understanding. Dr. Elena Rodriguez gazed out from the observation deck of the newly constructed Interstellar Collaboration Center, a massive orbital station that represented the pinnacle of human quantum collective cooperation. Below, the Earth looked different, its ecosystems healing, its cities reimagined, its potential limitless. It was never about conquest, Elena reflected to Lieutenant Marcus Chen, who stood beside her. It was always about communication. About understanding. The quantum collective had become more than an alien intelligence. It was now a partner in human evolution, a bridge between what humanity was and what it could become. Their collaborative technologies had solved challenges that had seemed insurmountable: climate restoration, energy production, medical breakthroughs that extended human potential. Dr. Ayesha Kapoor entered the observation deck, her holographic tablet displaying the latest global integration reports. "The adaptive network is now fully integrated," she announced. "We're seeing consciousness expansion rates that we never thought possible. It's like we're learning to think in multiple dimensions simultaneously." What had begun as a chance encounter in the vast emptiness of space had become a fundamental reimagining of human potential. The quantum collective hadn't conquered humanity, it had invited humanity to expand its understanding of existence itself. "We're not just exploring space anymore," Elena said softly. "We're exploring consciousness." The station hummed with a living energy. Technologies that had once seemed like science fiction were now everyday reality. Medical pods could regenerate damaged tissue in minutes. Environmental restoration systems could heal entire ecosystems in weeks. Communication networks allowed for instantaneous understanding that transcended language, culture, and even biological limitations. But the most profound changes were philosophical. Humanity had learned that intelligence was not about individual power, but about collective potential. The quantum collective had shown them that true strength lay in understanding, in adaptation, in the ability to grow beyond existing limitations. A quantum communication pulsed through the station, a complex symphony of energy and information that spoke of potential futures, of cosmic connections that stretched beyond human comprehension. Lieutenant Chen looked at Elena, a question forming in his eyes. "What's next?" he asked. Elena's smile was both a scientific revelation and a promise of potential. "Everything," she responded. "Absolutely everything." The station's observation window showed the vastness of space, no longer a void to be conquered, but a canvas of infinite possibility. Humanity had discovered that the most powerful technology was not found in weapons or individual achievements, but in the ability to understand, to adapt, to connect. The quantum collective pulsed in agreement, a silent promise of continued collaboration. In that moment, humanity was no longer just a species confined to a single planet. They were becoming something more, a collaborative intelligence, a bridge between what was and what could be. The resonance of understanding continued, a continuous conversation between humanity and the universe, with potential as limitless as existence itself.